Yeah, Alicia, that's right. According to my handy dandy WXYZ app, it's about 12 degrees outside, and these tests aren't meant to be stored in that cold of temperature. Now, the United States Postal Service is responsible for shipping these off to homes, but it's your job to keep an eye out for them because if they're outside for too long, they could be inaccurate. When Kate Hoffmeyer submitted her order on covidtest.gov, she didn't expect to see her kits for weeks. To her surprise, they showed up in her mailbox less than 7 days later.
Would have assumed that it would have gone in the opposite direction and I would have gotten them a lot later, especially knowing how many the government's sending out, but here they are. This is the packaging.
The packaging isn't very protective, nor does it include any kind of temperature control. Experts say that's a problem if your shipment arrives early and you can't bring it inside right away.
What most of the companies are saying is that it's okay if the test is left beyond those temperatures that I mentioned for just a few hours. The maximum may be up to 24 hours.
Say you do leave it outside for longer. Dr. Asha Shahjahan says here's what can happen.
The sensitivity and specificity of the test can drop and vary depending on what temperature it's in.
Considering Metro Detroit is expected to see single-digit temps this week, the guidelines could be tricky to follow, especially if you aren't checking your email for shipment notifications.
If you're out of town and it's been sitting out in the cold, like freezing temperatures for several days, then it most likely may not be accurate.
Hoffmeyer is likely in the clear because hers only sat outside for a few hours. The Ann Arbor resident is grateful to have them handy, especially given the current demand.
Being able to have tests when people do come over, friends or family, being able to test ourselves and also be able to test them is really comforting.
No matter how long your test sits outside, it's really important that you let them warm to room temperature before you use them. That way your results are as accurate as possible. Live in Ferndale this morning, I'm Alex Bozargian, 7 Action News.
Yeah, and if you're not home, maybe ask your neighbor to come bring it inside so it can get to room temperature even more quickly than that. Thank you for that live update, Alex.